Hello everyone, welcome back to Sketch Sew STUNT. I'm your girl Fanaye. Today I'm going to show you guys how I make my back cutout t-shirt with pocket. So I add the pocket and I cut out the back with a drawstring, and I do it all within the one t-shirt. I usually use Hanes. You can use your graphic, an old graphic t-shirt, an old cotton t-shirt, whatever you want to use. I'm going to show you how to vamp it up, how to make it more summer, how to just repurpose something that you can probably hold on to a little longer. Yeah, so let's get into that. I'm probably gonna do more of a voiceover situation because I think it's just easier. There's gonna be a code in this video. I am gonna do another giveaway of the t-shirt. I'm not sure which color yet, but I definitely will let you guys know. But the t-shirt that I'm showing you how to make today, I am gonna do a giveaway. Look out for the code word in this video. You have to find it in the video. Subscribe. Now, thanks. I'm sweating in this room. The way my room is set up, it's either AC or video record. And so what was I talking about? Part 2 of this video that I'm gonna drop on Sunday is gonna just be everything that I did to prepare. My nails, that black owned company, the hair product that I use, that's a black owned company. So stay tuned to part 2 on Sunday. I will give you guys all the details. My AC unit is loud and I wasn't trying to do that to y'all, but dang, it's as hot as it looks under this fro. Okay, Jesus. What was I saying? So Sunday's gonna be part 2 of just everything in preparation, and let's get into this tutorial. If you guys have fabric glue and not a sewing machine, use that. If you have a hand needle and not a sewing machine, use the hand needle. But this is definitely for the sewers who can just sew a quick DIY project, but you can definitely use it with fabric glue, and I will show you guys how to do that as well. But we're first gonna get into the sewing part. I'm gonna show you guys what to measure, how low to go, depending on how cropped you want it. You gotta definitely put the shirt against your body and figure out where you want it to stop. That's the biggest part, okay? But I'm gonna show you everything else. All right, let's get into it. So you're gonna need a t-shirt or t-shirts, pencil, ruler, safety pin, scissors, thread, and glue if you are using the gluing method. Okay, my glue actually dried out, so I apologize for not being able to do that, but I may do another video. Just did my nails, guys. Make sure you follow my girl Abby Oli, because that's the press on queen, honey. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up. Y'all hear that? A girl I need press on. She, yeah. Bye. Are you still here? So you subscribe, right? You subscribe? You subscribe. Stop playing. I'm excited about today's episode. I'm actually gonna go get some coffee, so I'm gonna take you guys a little bit in my neighborhood. It's hot. Okay. I might get your Chipotle too. I just went grocery shopping. This is all right. Let's go outside. All right, let's go. Okay, so you should iron. I did not. It's not my favorite thing to do. Okay, whatever. But I think you should iron, especially if you're new to this. I'm an OG. I know how to work around my laziness, okay? You want to make sure that everything is aligned, because what you're folding it for is to make sure you're finding the center back. If you're wondering, this measurement we're starting with is the cutout. So the back cutout in the center, we are going to measure 4 inches below the neckline. If you missed the measurement, don't worry, there will be a still shot on the screen with the same information. Okay, now we're going for the length of the top. And again, you can choose that length by putting on the shirt and marking wherever you want your crop to stop. But in my case, I did 6 inches below the armhole. Okay, now you're ready to cut to the center back from the 6-inch mark. If you do not have a steady hand, let's not play ourselves today. Take the ruler and make a straight line across to the center back. Okay, so now you have the extra fabric is going to be your string. It is the string to your drawstring, so do not throw it away. Every part of this t-shirt is going to be utilized. Now, the width of the strings that I prefer are 1 inch wide. I recommend that you measure the 1 inch width and then cut. Again, I am a professional at skipping steps because I can eyeball my measurements from experience. Using more extra fabric, we can now create our pocket. I'm cutting my pocket at 5.5 inches length and 5 inches width. That is including seam allowance. Now what seam allowance means is I'm just giving myself room to have a clean finish where I can sew the pocket to the shirt. If you're using glue, seam allowance is also necessary because you need to fold and glue down the edge for a clean finish. Now you want to use the bottom of the shirt, which is your hem that has a clean finish, as the top of your cutout pocket. You don't have to sew it or clean it. It already comes done per t-shirt. By the way, when I say clean, that's finish. What I mean by finish is the edges are folded, it's not raw, it's just a clean application, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm just cleaning my section. I just want to make sure I have all my parts. Right now I'm opening up the circular fabric piece that I cut out for the string so I can have it as one single string. As you can see, you should have 2 strings and 1 pocket. Now we're going to work on the top. Okay guys, so now we're going to move on to the back. We're going to fold it on the center back. Again, you'll know you're at the center back when you see that 4-inch mark and the 6-inch mark that we did earlier. So now that we want to do our cutout, we want to make sure it's as round as possible. So I like to use things around the house so I can make sure that circle is actually a circle. You can use your Tupperware, you know, appliances. Don't get in trouble. Plates. Just imagine the circle that you want on your back and then look for the tool. Now this is what you don't want to use. You don't want to use a ramekin. No, I mean, I feel like I have to tell people this. You don't want to use a shot glass. No, don't do that. A mango probably won't cut it either. But when all else fails, if you have a yoga mat, you know, do what you gotta do. In my case, I wanted to use the top of a Tupperware that pretty much gave me the same shape and size that I wanted for my shirt. Gonna make sure it's at the center. Again, I'm eyeballing it, but use your ruler so you make sure you have the center of the tool that you use. But then again, it doesn't matter. You're just using something to round it out. So now we're gonna find the next measurement where the circle is going to meet and we have our full cutout. I measure 5 inches from the bottom towards the circle. I mark that line and then I make sure that I keep the ruler on that mark and then go to the left and find the edge of the circle with my ruler. So it's like a rotation. That means it's gonna fall right on the natural line from the circle to the edge. As you can see, you have a full shape that you can use to cut out and have your cutout back. Now, if you want something more round, you can freehand it, you can make another shape, but this is just a formality so that you have an exact instruction, but you can go as crazy as you want. Make sure, it is very important that you make sure you are not cutting the front of the shirt. When you open up the back, you want to make sure that you are separating the front side to the back side. Now, once you make sure that you've only sandwiched the center back and you have separated the front, you can make a mark, which I'm using with scissors. I did a little snip at the bottom. I'm making that mark so I know that I can fold the back, only the back, in half, which means once I cut out that shape that I made on one side, I'll be cutting the other side evenly. I hope that makes sense. It's like cutting out, it's like when we used to do arts and crafts and we would cut out a heart. Think about that. But make sure you do not involve the front of the t-shirt because you will have a hole in the front and in the back. I've made a shirt like that. It's cute too, so don't freak out. Just do the same. Just keep going. Just keep going if that happens. It actually makes a really cute bikini throw, like top to throw over a bikini. Just saying, you know, make it work. All right, so stunning. So now you have your cutout. Next up, we are going to fold that cut out a 1/2 inch inward so that we can apply the drawstring. Now, if you're using your glue, please do 1 inch instead, which means you have to consider that the inch is going to make your hole larger. Just a disclaimer, if I look frustrated or my hand slaps the table or I'm taking a abnormal amount of time doing one little thing, it's because these press-on nails. Like, I'm feeling like Edward Scissorhands right now. It's absolutely insane, but it's just so cute and I can't not wear them right now. Just anywho, so I'm just showing you that it's at a 1/2 inch, which is my seam allowance, my infold, so I can make room for my string. Now, if you're using glue, I'm sorry that I can't show you with glue because this one is actually dry, but I want to make sure you guys use 1 inch of seam allowance, which means you're folding it inward 1 inch over, so you have room in case the glue spreads or whatever the case may be. Also, it's very important to read the glue that you get. Now, if you don't get my glue, that's fine. There's a lot of fabric glues, but make sure you read the glue, the bottle, and see how long it takes for it to dry or whatever the requirements are when you apply that glue to your fabric. Okay, so now it's all sewn. I am just, cleaning up the loose threads or anything that can get in my way later. On to the pocket placement. Now, the way I place my pocket is how a button-down shirt for a woman would be placed. I will show you the measurements in the still shot, how to determine where the pocket goes from bottom of the hem to the center front distances. It'll make more sense when we get to the visual. Now, my suggestion is you put on the shirt and you actually match where you want the pocket to be to the shirt on your body. That's my personal preference. You can use my measurement, but everyone has a different bust size. Pockets look weird on some people. You have full advantage to put the pocket where you want to put the pocket by testing it on your own body. Just a little tip. Now, if you look closely, you can see that I placed the pocket face to face with the shirt and sewed it down so I can later flip it up. Now, if you're using glue, you can clean finish it with glue on the inside and then fold the edges towards the inner pocket. Or you can sew it later, as you'll see me do in just a moment. Now, I'm flipping it over after I'm sewing it And I sewed it that way first so I can have a clean finish without having to over sew. If I can use a method to minimize sewing, believe me, I'm going to take on that method. Now, next we're going to sew the pocket down to the shirt. I'm going to sew at 1/8 from the edge. Okay, so the pocket is sewn, the front of the shirt is done. You see the clean edges. All right, so now it's time to get into the center back. We are going to now place the string through the loop so we can use the drawstring method. Now, what's really cool about this fabric is you don't have to clean the straps with the seam. You don't have to sew anything. All you have to do is just pull tight, and the elasticity in this string will snap back, and you'll have a nice tight string that is sturdy. Now, typically I would sew these two strings together. It's up to you. You can use one string if you want, but I like something long. I want to be able to tie a bow and then have string falling down. So I tie the two strings together. It is long enough for just one, but this is my preference as far as styling. Now I use a knot because if I can fit it through the loop, why not? Now, if you did an inch, you are also saving yourself some space so that you can make a knot and it'll still go through the loop. Or I should call it the tunnel. Sorry, the tunnel which the string will go through for the drawstring method. Here I'm just locating the entrance to the tunnel that I'm going to apply a safety pin on the edge of the string so I can feed the safety pin throughout the tunnel to the other side. Now, this is a very simple technique, but if you're having issues with it, try to think of it as like an inchworm. You're just gonna push a little, pull, push a little, pull, and then you're gonna get to the other side. The more practice, the more quicker you will get. Don't worry. As I was feeding, what I tried to do was make sure the knot that I created with the two strings met the center of the cutout, the top of the cutout, which is the neck. All right, so you should be very proud. You are at the end. You now have this drawstring method complete on your center back. You can pull it in as tight as you want. You can loosen it. I like to open it and just wear it in a bow without it being gathered together. You can cross the strings to the front. You can just have so much fun with this. I like to take a moment and say that I was in these streets with my tag out and no one said anything. You know, one subscription a day can feed a child in New York City. I am that child. Thanks. I'm just playing, y'all, but it does help me. I definitely have big dreams for this series, so I would love your support. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. Get this out there, and I can't wait to just build more content for you guys. But it's a two-way street here, okay? It's a two-way street. If you want to see me, show me.
This is not a test. It's the real deal. Help me. Help me.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.